Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Zube here, and I'm going to be doing a random collective reading. We're going to burn a little sage first, get some blessings up in here. If you are interested in a personal reading, astrology, or tarot, my information is down below. And my website is teresazube.com. There we go. All right. Some for you. How are you guys? Some for me. Some more for me. I'm actually really great. Like, everything is bullshit, but I'm great. I don't know. I like days like that. I prefer the days where not everything is bullshit and I'm great, but the ones that everything is bullshit and I'm great are pretty good too. This is going to be a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't force anything to fit you. Don't force me to fit you. You don't have to like me. If you don't, is somebody in my driveway? God, today is so weird. Don't worry, sir. I didn't put on the coffee. They had to turn around. I'm going to put that in the back of my mind because maybe that has something to do with the reading today. What was I saying? Yeah, you don't have to like me. Sometimes I don't either. Be fair. Okay. That's a lot. Take a sip of my coffee. Can you read it? God is handling all of my problems today. All right. I like to come into these with a message. Here's the message I got, because for the past few days, I don't know how everyone else is doing. Uranus is fucking with me. Get it? Mars is about to conjunct Uranus if you're watching this in real time. But there's like, that's big energy. All the other astrologers are talking about it, so I don't really feel the need to go into it too much, but there's just kind of some wild stuff. They're coming into a conjunction with Algol, which is part of the Medusa. It's just the Death Star is its nickname. Maybe that should be my nickname. But if that's any indication of the kind of vibe that Algol has, there you go. You're smart. You can put that together. But the message I've been getting, like, all right, I'm going to start with the story first. I'm all over the place. When I first moved to Texas, there was a gas station I would go to that was over here. And then there was a Dunkin' Donuts I would go to that was over here. But I would drive like this way to get to that gas station. And then I would drive like this way to get to that Dunkin' Donuts. And I remember the day when I was trying to get around town without using my GPS, so there was one day where I had to use my GPS to go somewhere. And as I was driving, I realized I'm driving down this road and there's Dunkin' Donuts. And then a little bit further down, there's that gas station. And it was really cool because at the time I was working on mindfulness and all of this stuff and observing my thoughts. And in a lot of ways, I was way cooler back in the beginning days of doing this than I am now. But beginner's mind, But when I drove past them, I was like, holy shit, they're like related to each other in that way. And then in my mind, it was like the pictures where it'll flip over, or like I'm picturing like flaps kind of went in on the map of my new town, Bernie, in my head and filled in all this like in between. It's like it put the whole fucking town together for me. I don't know how to explain it. And that's what kept coming to me while I was ruminating this morning. I didn't meditate yet. I had a big, amazing meditation yesterday, but I'm going to meditate later today. But as I was thinking this morning, because I'll see something and the synchronicities are insane. And then I'll see this over here that I've like known, and that over there. I know that too. And then something happens, and the two things I know somehow are related to one another. Is anybody having anything like that? Anybody? Bueller? But it's been very weird. So it's like we're filling in the map. Maybe we're putting things together. It doesn't feel entirely comfortable. Although the putting togetherness of it is somewhat of a relief. So there's welcome to my insanity. That's what's in my mind. So let's pull some cards. Let's see what we got here. Was journaling. All right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. So we got 3, and this represents us internally, our internal energy. First, the 7 of Swords. That's sneaky shit. Maybe we're being sneaky. Maybe we feel like sneaky things are going on that we don't understand. But I like in this deck, there's a crow that's like calling out. It's like calling out a warning, like, yo, this guy's stealing some shit. With the putting the map together, like maybe something is like screaming, like, hey, over here, there's something that you have to put together. Like, anyway, Page of Wands. Page of Wands is the inner child. The wands are fire. That's creative. It's our passion. It's heart energy. It's taking action. Page of Wands is very playful. And the Fool. And the Fool is trusting the divine. It's having faith, taking a leap of faith, being foolish, knowing that you don't have to know all of the things. I made that joke about beginner's mind, which is kind of funny. Maybe we're overcomplicating things. Maybe we're getting kind of lost in the weeds. With the 7 of Swords, maybe there's something that we're trying to hide from. I don't know. Just to again share about my journey, because this is my channel and that's how I read, but I just feel like there's something I'm not putting together. Like I'm 2 years old and I'm trying. It's like I have maybe I don't. What's a good metaphor for this? Like I'm trying to fit 2 pieces together, but they're from different toy kits. You know what I mean? So they're a little bit off. And I'm frustrated, but what I need to do is back away and be like, oh, wait, this isn't even from the same package as that. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm going off the hook today. But like but it's happening slowly. And maybe that visual I got of the map filling in is God being like, yo, girl, chill. Like I'll make it happen for you. You know, that yes, go enjoy yourself. Like stop. The 7 of Swords always just feels like kind of a negative card. You know, it just doesn't feel good. What's in front of us, death, rebirth. So we are moving forward. Maybe we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to hide from what we know is ending. But not entirely, right? Like we know that there is this element of faith and hope and trusting the divine with the details. All right, what does God see? Star, don't lose hope. wishing on a star, keeping hope alive. God is like, I got you. Have you ever heard that before? There was a little voice in my head that was like, all your readings sound the same. This is so dumb. Do you guys have that too? Not about your readings, but like, God's got you. Wherever you're at, it's okay. Maybe you're hiding, maybe you're playing. Maybe even when you're hiding, you're talking yourself into, with the Seven of Swords, especially on the internal, it's a reminder that sometimes God pulls some sneaky shit too, you know? So one of my favorite things to do with tarot is to take cards that people tend to think are totally positive and look at the lower aspects of those cards and vice versa. So if somebody thinks a card is totally negative, there are always upsides to it as well. And maybe people think that's fucking Pollyanna, but it's why I don't read reversals. I like to look at things from both sides and not assume, because what is good and what is bad. Like, going to rehab really fucking sucked. All of like the ensuing drama and family court and all of that in my life really fucking sucks. But am I a better person? Do I like who I am? Even before I think I had a drinking problem, yeah, I like myself way better than any person I've ever been in all of my beingness. Well, I can only speak for this lifetime, but and I have compassion for myself and who I was before from a vantage point that I didn't have before I got sober, Anyway, so sidebar, but remember, maybe we're thinking like, what on earth is God doing? What is Mother Father God up to? I don't understand this shit. I'm confused. Everything is ending, but there's a dawning of a new day. And God's like, it's dark. I get it. I get it. You're in the dark, but don't lose hope. That's the meaning of the star card. Like, it's like the star, it's the morning Venus star in a lot of the definitions that you'll read. And that means it's still dark out, but a new day is coming. So we have the reference of like a new day is coming, but it might look like death all around, which has kind of been in the past couple of readings, that sense of like walking through the valley of death or whatever. I think I read a Bible verse the other day about it. Four of Pentacles. Hang tight. Hang tight. Make sure your foundation is secure. Take care of you. This is remembering, don't overindulge, don't overspend. Make sure that you are safe and secure. Additionally, there is a time when you need to open up after making sure that you are safe and secure, because her arms aren't open to receive more. Only you really know which way are you swaying. Are you too closed in or are you too open? And a lot of times, because it's Pentacles, that would be financially. I'm going to do this one. Oh, you know what's weird? You know what's really weird? Look what I did. Okay. I picked up these two cards and death was in front of us, and up here in the God spot was the star of hope. And when I put them back down without realizing it, I put the star card in front of us and the death card up here in the God spot. And I just got, when I looked down at that and realized it, the endings, that's God's job to take care of. It's our job down here to walk forward in hope. I really love that for us. I really love that for us. Let's just be fucking hopeful. Sounds nice. Sounds nice. Okay. We have sacred convergence. It's a weird card. Like it's like mountains, but it also kind of looks like I don't know if it's going to focus on it. Maybe not. Yeah, there we go. Also looks like figures. So let's read the definition. 28. There is a coming together happening within your body and soul, a unification of all that is within you. This is akin to traveling to a strange land, as all sorts of new sensations, not all welcome at first, begin to make themselves known to you. If you are experiencing discomfort within your own body or uncertainty and a sense of expansion to include more of life in your thoughts and feelings, then you are conscious of this sacred convergence. It is like two worlds or more are colliding. If you are sensitive, you will feel it happening as an important event without necessarily having a physical situation to attribute the experience to or upon which to hang an explanation. You may also be encountering this in a very physical sense by finding yourself in situations which you previously would have avoided. You may be meeting people and thrown into relationship with them, apparently more by circumstances than by your own conscious choosing. This is a meeting of you with your shadow and something to rejoice in, even if it is uncomfortable at times. Be gentle and loving with yourself and kindly seek to find the beauty in what you are learning about yourself in your interactions and experiences. You are a wise soul seeking to know yourself rather than judge others. Remember your divine perfection as you are thrilled and challenged in this time of great growth. You are guided to be curious as though traveling to a foreign land and remaining open to experiencing its treasures. This oracle holds a message for you. A deeper part of yourself is calling you forward. Any discontent, struggle, anxiety, or fear is a subconscious recognition of this. Don't worry, you are a unique plant in a divine garden. You don't have to know what plant you are in order to grow. You just need to live each day, and the growth happens naturally. Then you can see over time the beauty of your true nature revealing itself to you. It will be a revelation to be relished. So, another thing I think of when I look at this death card is the shadow. And it's funny here too, because it's talking about going to a new land. And that's really weird because it was literally my thought coming into this was when I first moved here. But I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I'm going to have to look it up so I can share it here now. But it's like three Jungian psychologists or psychiatrists, students, whatever, talking about shadow work and how it's kind of this like pop mental health term that people are doing shadow work, and it is really. I have never gone in depth explaining like how I do shadow work, and I remember when I first started getting spiritual and shit, I'm like, what the hell is shadow work? I don't understand. And I read around, and I'm like, oh, I get it. And so I participate in doing shadow work, but I've never really made any effort towards explaining exactly like what that process is or how I understand it. It's one of those things where like I understand enough for me, but not enough to explain it to somebody. But they were said this really powerful thing, and I'm going to share it with you because I've done it this morning. I was doing it, and they gave an example of if you call someone a liar, right? So you'll find your shadow in things that you don't like about other people. And it's because something within you, it's like reminiscent of that, something that you've hidden away. And they can be good things that we've hidden away or not so good things that we've hidden away. And the one example the guy used was that person is a liar. And if you turn around to the person who's calling somebody a liar, we'll say it's me, for example, even though I don't like to call people liars, people tell lies, but I'm more mature than I used to be. It doesn't make somebody's not a whole full liar. That's like not all they are. So I don't like that word. So it was funny, that word triggered me, which is why I probably remember this story so much, because I've been called a liar like a lot. But anyway, um, and he was like, if you turn it around and say, well, then you must be a liar. And you can be a completely rational and even a self-aware person and be like, I'm not a liar. And it's for me, it's the reason that I said, like, I don't think anybody is a liar, but also he was like, if you look up in a thesaurus or look up the synonyms for liar, can you own some of the synonyms of that are maybe a little bit more palatable for your ego to take, right? And do you tell white lies? Are you not are you economical with the truth? That's one of the things that he said that I thought was really funny. But you don't have to be an asshole to yourself to do shadow work. Like, you don't have to beat yourself over the head. It's just opening your eyes to parts of you that are hiding. The other woman psychologist was telling a story about how she was at a party and there was this other woman. Like, these may not be exact, but they're pretty darn close. Don't quote me, is what I'm saying. But she went to a party with another woman, and she just was like, oh, that lady's such a show off or something. And then she was like explaining how when she was growing up, it was praiseworthy to be more modest, right? So she always had to be modest, and she couldn't do anything or wasn't supposed to do anything that would be like showing off or bragging. And then she giggled. She was like, as I'm sitting here doing a podcast, and I'm like, right. I literally, like, her story was my story. I'm not even going to bother to tell it. But, when I was growing up, you weren't supposed to show off or anything like that. And this is where, like, a good quality can hide. It's like, there is something that you want to express or a way that you want to be, and you're probably envious of the person that you're name calling because you wish that you felt freer to express that part of you. So all of that to say, with convergence, it's making me think of where we integrate the shadow. And people pay tens of thousands of dollars to, like, learn Jungian psychology. So I do think it's a good idea not to, like, think everything about it. I mean, it's a fascinating thing, but there is this simple concept of owning parts of yourself that you're completely, like, blind to. Like, it's just that it's really hard to see about ourselves. But the looking up words in a thesaurus. So I did it today with mean, because that's one thing that I will say. Oh, they're so mean. Right. And then I looked up synonyms, and I was reading through, and it was like cruel. I'm like, no. And it was like diabolical, no. And then it said catty, bitchy, shitty. I'm like, oh, yep, yep, yep. And that's what I journaled about today. And, there are things that I still don't like to own about me. And I had, like, butts in my head, like, but you only talk to your sister about that. You know what, though? It still fucking lives in me, and I got to own that shit. I can be pretty fucking mean. And it's in more of a passive aggressive way that's not healthy either. So being aware of our shadow, and that's why this is uncomfortable. But I almost think, like, how it was saying we might not even be aware of exactly what it is that we're doing, that rings really true, because I was just saying, it's like there's something that has to come together, and I can't figure out what it is. And it makes me feel better to know that maybe I'm not supposed to. It'll just happen on its own. I wasn't planning that day. I was driving from one place to another that had nothing to do with Dunkin' Donuts or the gas station. And, like, all of a sudden, boom, the whole map of the town I had moved to 8 months prior just filled in my head. Like, literally seeing those two places put the whole town together for me. It was really crazy. Like, it was cool. was laughing and everything. All right, we're gonna get an advice card. This might be kind of a long one. And then we're getting the universe cheer us. We need a cheerleader card. Okay, so what should we focus on? Or what should we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Remember that we're blessed. Blessed and protected. Blessed and protected and led. I want to get another one. To be fair. We're coming to a more balanced understanding. That's giving me kind of justice card vibes. All right, what's the universe saying behind our back? I always say with this one, the universe can do sneaky shit behind your back too. So what's the universe doing behind our back? When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. I walk by faith, not by sight. That's the Fool card. That's being in gratitude, remembering how blessed you are. I will say this shit over and over again. I'll say the same shit every day in a reading if God tells me to. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. Quit obsessing. Have fun. Play. Trust that the details will be worked out. Don't dwell on things. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe if you are still here. I love you and have a great day on earth. Peace. Namaste.